Hey everyone, so I got my friend Richard back, and this is the same Waterloo student who aced this coding interview. I gave him a strong hire for the first question, valid word abbreviation, and then gave him a hard question he was able to solve. So I posted that about 3 weeks ago. Has 25K views. It's popped off. 412 people liked that video.
Damn.
Have you seen these yet? The stats on this yet? It's going crazy.
Nah, like I see him every once in a while because like one of my friends, they're like, "Yo, is this you? Is this you?"
Yeah,
It's reaching
dude.
a wide audience.
You caught like your friends are just randomly getting recommended and they notice it's you right away.
Yeah. They like watch for a little bit and then they're like, "Wait, this guy sounds kind of familiar." And they check the name tag because I had a CoderPad account before, so I couldn't go anonymous. So they're like, "Yo, no way."
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, this
Yeah,
thing's popping off. 25K views. It's like my fifth or sixth most watched video. 412 likes. I mean, people are
damn.
really rocking with it. They're like, this guy's actually good. So those guys like
Yeah,
he
it's huge,
survived
bro. It's good to
Waterloo.
hear.
It's like I didn't even know
Yeah,
what that meant. But then
yo, that
yeah, what
yo,
does
what
he
you
mean by
saying?
that?
It's like a meme that's going on. It's like if you look on TikTok or like Instagram Reels, there's like a before and after photo, like this one Waterloo Eng student,
Yeah,
and it just looks like he went through the most, can't lie.
yeah.
Yeah, so then like everybody else has been posting their before and after Eng transformations, and then everybody's just saying like they've been through Waterloo. Is that one guy?
Like they're literally coming out and they're balding and stuff too. I remember I
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
this.
yeah. They're balding. They like lose the light in their eyes. They got like eye bags and everything. Hopefully
Oh
that's not
my
me, bro.
god. You're only in your third year, right? Serving world even.
Going into my third. I think I think my third year officially starts like next year winter because I'm taking a double co-op, so I'm a little delayed in terms of courses.
I see. So what was it like going to Waterloo? For background for anybody who doesn't know Waterloo, I mean Waterloo kids literally are invading San Francisco Bay Area. I mean all these companies are straight hiring Waterloo kids and they're not doing it on purpose, right? I got to the bottom of this. I was figuring out why are so much Waterloo kids in the Bay Area, and it's actually not even on purpose. Like y'all are just the ones who
Yeah,
are passing these interviews. What are they teaching
yeah.
you? What is the curriculum like, and how come everyone's so cracked coming out of that school?
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Like, well, when you look at like the CS programs in Canada, I
Hmm.
think a lot of the times the course content is like exactly the same.
Hmm.
Like I've seen U of T, and like sometimes like, even U of T's content is harder. But I think like what makes these companies really really like Waterloo is because of like the builder culture that we have. I think the reason why we have one in the first place is because like the co-op program has a really good reputation.
Hmm.
So like naturally all the students who like want to get co-ops, they like go to Waterloo and then like that creates like a little like hub of like startup people whatever, and I feel like that kind of like snowballs a little bit, and then eventually like Waterloo gets this like reputation, and then that reputation is like the reason why people come. I feel like initially when I was about to come, I was like, oh yeah, um, like the co-op is good. But then I came here and I just realized that like a lot of the people are like really self-driven
Yeah,
and like really passionate. And I think like that's it's like people kind of like it's like sometimes it's a toxic environment, but I feel like people kind of uplift each other, right? You could be like in a really good position, but then there's always gonna be someone who's like that much better, which like kind of makes you want to work no matter what.
damn. So like the Waterloo kids, everyone's there is like a lot of them are grinders, huh? Yeah,
Yeah, like I remember for high school, I wasn't really like grinding that much. I feel like coming to Waterloo, I had like my welcome to the NBA moment. It was like
yeah.
the first guy I met, he already had like two internships at like this crazy AI company. And I was like, yo, I literally used this app before. How does this guy already have two internships in high school?
Dude, in high school? Oh, he got in there in high school after.
Nah, he was like doing internships in high school and he was like flying to SF and everything.
Wow,
So then like
that's
going into uni,
crazy.
he already had like work experience.
And then like what class did you meet him at?
I met him just like chilling with some of my friends. Like I met a couple people during O week and then he was just there in the group. But like generally like a lot of the people that you meet at Waterloo are like
Yeah.
they're like super they work super hard. So then like you feel like if you don't work hard, it's like it's hard to describe. It's like it's kind of like
Yeah.
if you're surrounded by people who are always so cracked, you're gonna feel like a bum if you like don't really do anything.
And you're saying, I mean, there's people who are cracked, but then, on average, I mean, because there's people who are cracked and there's people who just grind. So
Mm.
are people there cracked and grinding, or some are just straight grinders, or some are just straight cracked?
I think it's both. Like, I've asked myself this question before. Like, is it the chicken or the egg? You know, it's like,
Yeah,
do the cracked people go to Waterloo? Is it that Waterloo makes you cracked? I feel like cracked people do go to Waterloo, but I feel like the culture at Waterloo is like what kind of like. Because some people are like super smart, but if they don't get their name out there and then like not applying themselves, like you won't really know that they're cracked. But I feel like Waterloo, like whether you're cracked or not, kind of forces you to apply yourself. So then eventually you get kind of get labeled as cracked.
I see. Okay, so how do you even get into Waterloo?
I think there's a lot of different options. Like you can either go the engineering route. So in terms of tech, I think the main like engineering faculties you want to target would be software engineering, which is like I believe it's the most like famous and like notoriously difficult to get into. And then you have computer engineering, electrical engineering, and system design engineering. I know system design like they're very notorious for like having a high co-op rate. So like a lot of students end up getting employed during the co-op cycles. Or you can go like the math route, which is to either apply for like CS, which is a program that I'm in, or math, or some called CFM, it's like
Mm.
computing and financial management. I think like you can transfer in between. I know a lot of people they try to be like either ECE, SC, or CS. And I know like for engineering, they look at a more holistic application. Like they care a little less about grades and more about like your ECs, what you've done in high school, like where your engineering passion comes from.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, CS is like pure grade grind. I remember like I think the cutoff is like a 95 high school average,
Wow.
but like to be competitive, you have to be like in the 98, 99s.
So you need
So like
98. Okay, so CPSC. So you're in this computer science program, right?
let me take a look at your stream.
Or like, what's your degree right now? Bachelor's of Science in math or Bachelor of...
It's I think it's Bachelor's of Computer Science, so BCS.
Okay. Well, no, it's probably a Bachelor's of Science major in computer science, right?
I remember I checked my transcript. I
Okay.
thought it was Bachelor of Science too, but I think the official one that they wanted to put on our resume was Bachelor's of Computer Science.
Okay. So you have a Bachelor's in computer science. So you're just taking the traditional computer science route, right? Because yeah, there's like
Yeah,
electrical eng, there's computer eng, but yours is like strictly
yeah.
CPSC. What's the difference between SWE and CPSC in Waterloo?
I think the main difference is that their course load is like harder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think like um it's harder to get in, but like their course load is like engineering on top of like computer science slash math. That's why their like faculty kind of sits in between both math and engineering. Like I think they get a math degree and they also get like the engineering iron ring.
I see. Okay.
They also have a smaller cohort, so like all their classes are like predetermined, and they'll always have
Yeah.
their classes with like their 100 or so people. I think like speaking from experience, like SE probably has the highest density of like cracked people. From what I've seen, like
Mm.
a lot of the SE people are actually like crazy. I can't
Mm.
lie.
All right. That's crazy. So for um for high school, you got over a 98 average.
Uh yes.
That's
So I
wild.
went to like a private school. So I think like that's part of the reason because like I think they're kind of notorious for inflating their grades. Like when I look back at some of the work I was doing, I was like, this really isn't worth like the grade I got. But I
Mm,
think like that's just how it is.
I see.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's like a lot of grindy people. That I'm pretty sure that's why like a lot of grindy people end up at Waterloo.
A lot of private school students, or not really? Or is everything?
A lot of IB. I think
IB?
IB.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people I meet are like IB.
Did you take IB?
No, I went down the AP route.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So what was your first year courses? What did you take? I'm just trying to understand, yeah, like how this all went.
Yeah. So my first year courses, I had uh I had two math courses, I believe. So one was called Math 135. This one I think was just your standard like discrete math course where you learn about like um
Proofs and stuff.
yeah, proofs, logical statements, all
Induction.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had like Calc 1, which was Math 137. I know U of T has one as well. So this one you learn like standard like Riemann. Actually, I don't even think you learned Riemann sums yet. But I think it's like delta epsilon proofs,
So this is not
and then
this is not basic. Just oh, because limits and stuff are just pre-calculus, right? Or no, that's You didn't learn limits
yeah,
and
we,
derivatives.
we we did learn limits. It's just that I think U of T and Waterloo goes a little more in depth into like epsilon proofs
I see.
for calculus. Um, and then I took a CS course called CS 135. Yo, they made us do this in like like a random functional programming language called like Doctor Racket. It
What the?
was yeah, yo, I don't know. I didn't really like it too much, but I guess like if I ever do functional programming in the future, I guess it helps there. Um,
They're not teaching you basic. What is a array? What is a? How do you do a loop? Like, what if no one ever did comp
yeah,
sci yet? There.
yeah, I don't know. They started us off with functional programming, but then like in our second semester, well, I'll get into that
Yeah.
later. But like in our later semesters, we start with like low level programming in like C and C plus plus.
Okay.
Um,
So what else are you
yeah,
taking?
and then something interesting about Waterloo is that we do like something called like your communications courses. So you're required to take two. I think it's because a lot of Waterloo people end up being like very antisocial
Yeah.
and like don't really communicate their ideas too well. So I think like these classes were meant to kind of I don't know, like I didn't really find it that useful towards um communicating better,
Yeah.
but I think like that was the purpose. You have to take two, one in your first semester, one in your second semester. So I took public speaking in my first semester, and then you have like an elective. So I just chose econ.
I see.
Um,
So
I
one
think
CS
it
course only,
was
first semester.
yeah, one CS for first semester.
Econ, macroeconomics probably is like
Yeah,
supply and
I think
demand. Or they're going deep.
yeah, it was like before you kind of split off in a macro and micro. I forgot which
Oh,
one
okay, I
it
see.
goes deep into though.
Okay,
Like I
so
didn't really
they
pay
go they
attention to
gloss
that
over
course.
high level macro and micro, but don't dive deep into a specific one.
Yeah, it was like I they probably did end up diving deep, but I just like after that class, I just kind of released all the info from my
I
brain,
see.
so I can't even remember. Yeah, I think it was micro though. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was micro. And then my second semester is when I took CS 136. So this is like a low level programming course in C, and here we also had a lab that taught you about like bash scripting, um, like uh, like command line, like the simple command lines commands, and then also like testing suites, like how to create your own testing suites.
I see.
And then we also had like yeah, so low level programming, it was just like a little bit of data structures. It wasn't focused on data structures, but we did end up covering like some very basic stuff, like what you'd see on LeetCode. Um, and then we had two math courses again. One
Damn.
was linear algebra,
Okay.
one was Calc 2. Calc 2 I think was low key easier than Calc 1 because Calc 1 went into like some
Okay.
like things that we haven't learned before, but I think Calc 2 covers like the standard, like what you'll learn in like high school calc. Um My
Like find the
second,
area of this curve kind of thing.
yeah, like simple integration. And then I think like I guess the the difference between like that course and like high school is we learned like some like formulas to like um or some like
Like
for like
infinite
Riemann
equations.
sums.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe because I'm trying to like pull it out of my
Like
my
summations and
memory.
stuff, or like you're looking at
Yeah.
sequences, and coming up with equations
Oh
of the
yeah, we also had a
sequences.
lot about sequences. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um.
That makes sense.
But yeah,
What
standard
else?
like Calc
Yeah.
2.
Calc two.
Had my second communications course. That one I
Oh,
did something
nice.
called digital lives. Still couldn't tell you what that course was teaching. Like, and then my last course
Wait, they're asking if
was
you learned Taylor series. I think you learned Taylor series
yeah,
in Calc
yeah.
2, yeah.
We learned Taylor series, I believe. Um, and then my last course was psychology. I did this one online, and like low key, it was my worst course because I kept on missing assignments. But um,
So one
yeah,
CS course again. So two CS courses for pretty much the whole first year. Is that standard usually? For
yeah, that's like standard. But then like year two and year three, it gets crazy. I think like I'm not projected, but in my next semester, I'll be taking like three CS courses and a CO
Damn.
course.
Are
But
you about to get into your third year, or you're about to get into your fourth year? Oh no, you said you're in second year only.
yeah, so I completed the first semester my second year.
Okay.
I was supposed to take my second one in the summer, but because I'm doing Shopify, I pushed that one back to winter or
I see.
fall.
I see. Wait, so you only
Yeah,
did three
so
semesters so far?
yeah, only 3 semesters.
When did you start?
Fall 2023.
Okay. Well, 2023. Oh, you
Yeah,
just
it's
had a bunch of
2025 already.
internships? Oh yeah, your
Yeah, this
internships
is
were kind of
my
taking up your thing because you've only done 3 semesters.
yeah, like the way Waterloo does co-op is that you do 6 co-ops that are 4 months each.
Yeah,
So usually like you do two school and then alternate co-op or like there's different like we call it sequences.
I see.
So like there's different like patterns that people take.
I see.
But like one of the reasons why I chose CS over SE is because there's like a little more flexibility. Like I think in SE you'd probably have to skip a year. Like you'd be a class of like 29 if you wanted to like change your co-op sequencing.
Yeah,
But I think CS made it a little easier for me.
I see.
So um yeah, I think like what Waterloo wants to do is like in 5 years you'll have a 4 year degree and like 2 years of work experience, but you like compromise your summers.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
don't really mind. I don't think I'm doing much in the summer
yeah.
anyway.
Okay, so for how was it taking these courses? I mean, the math you probably shared those with a bunch of other degrees. Maybe discrete math you had to
Mhm.
take with just comp sci kids and other ones, right? But Calc one is general.
Surprisingly, yeah, surprisingly, first year, like everybody in the math faculty takes the exact same courses.
I see.
So like CS, CFM, like normal math with honors, we all took the exact same course load. But then later on, like year two, year three is like when you kind of like split a little bit. I think math goes more into like deeper math, but CS
I see.
starts to yeah. So my second year, like first semester, I took two CS courses. One was like logic and computation. This one, oh my days, I think it was like I hated this course. I think everybody hated this course. I didn't do bad on it, but like I think just learning it like it kind of like I lost a little bit of my soul trying to learn it.
What's
It was
this
like
course called?
logic and computation. Oh yeah, and if you want, like you can go on this website called UW Flow and um search up like the course names I'm telling you, and then I'm pretty
Okay.
sure you can get like yeah. So if you search up
I have to log in
CS
real
two
quick.
forty five,
Is this the one? Are you on my stream?
yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's
This
the
one?
one.
Okay, let me log in.
I think you can just explore without logging in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, too early log in. Okay,
S-
what's this one called?
CS 245.
Logic and computation.
Yeah, bro, this one was terrible, man. Like, yeah, like you could see the reviews, bro. Like people thought it was like fine in terms of difficulty, but it was just like so
This is like,
in my opinion, it was so useless.
does it talk about like
But like,
DFAs and NFAs and stuff like that? Or what's it talking about?
nah, it was like we started off with like an extension of discrete math, but then we started like doing like really long logic statements and then
I
like
see.
Turing machines and like
Okay.
correctness, validity, all that stuff. It was it was definitely a
Does it show
course,
the
but
notes? Professor reviews
um
bad. Like this
yeah,
guy got bad ratings.
7%. I don't think I had that guy.
Okay, so this is more like just they're just trying to improve your logic skills essentially.
Yeah. And then we had like yeah, Turing machines. We
Yeah.
had like the halting problem.
I see. Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I still think to this day I don't understand the halting problem. Like I think I just memorized how those answers are supposed to be
Yeah.
done, and I just like wrote that on the exam, and
I see.
I prayed. But
Yeah, they
um
taught that in my school too for second year.
yeah,
What else
I
did
don't
you
think
take?
anybody liked it there too, right?
Yeah, no, that course. Lots of people failed that course. Sorry.
Yeah. Um and then the next CS course was it's called CS 246. This one was actually very useful. It's like C++ object oriented
Finally,
software.
they're giving
Yeah,
these. It's
finally
like
some real
what's
coding,
going
you know, no
on,
more C, no more racket.
bro?
I mean, I guess like C is real coding.
That's crazy.
Uh, but yeah, this one just like taught like object oriented design, like inheritance, pointers, all that kind of
Nice.
stuff, like pretty deep. And then we had like a final project where we just like work on like a game.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty standard. I've seen like most schools do some variation of it, but this one was pretty useful. I think a lot of the concepts I learned here I still like use if I'm doing like system design or like even if I'm coding my own projects.
Yeah.
Um, and then I did
Wait, Paul's asking
CS.
what's
Mhm.
automata? Did you have to do that? Work on the automatas at all?
I don't think so.
Like
Uh,
state machines, I think you're talking about, Paul.
yeah, state
Yeah, like
machines.
state machines. Like you go from then there's like the yeah, yeah. We had to do
NFA,
that
DFA.
in my school. That's so funny. Everyone's kind of doing kind of similar stuff in their
Yeah.
classes.
Oh, I don't think we call it NFA or DFA. This looks kind of familiar. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I think all the course contents have been flushed out of my brain already.
Okay.
But
Finally, second year is something that you're gonna use in your job. I mean, the other
yeah,
stuff is still useful. Obviously, you need to like build a
yeah.
base for
But it felt more like a side
knowledge.
quest than
Yeah.
anything. I
What
think
else did you
moving on,
take?
like I took linear algebra 2. This one's called Math
Oh, I see.
235.
Yeah. And
Um,
how's that?
honestly, I think it was pretty interesting. I took it by accident though, because I
Okay.
thought it was a prereq to like the machine learning courses.
Oh,
Turns out, I think CEO like comput computational optimization. I think that one is the actual prereqs. But this one's pretty interesting. Like you learn deeper into lineage,
you do some
into
proofs on
like
it or no? Proofs on
yeah, there's still a lot of proofs. Like I think the thing that Waterloo does different is that they teach you like for exams you have to solve proofs instead of like sim like just application
it? I
questions.
see.
It's like a little bit of both.
I see.
Um, so we learned like uh singular value decomposition, like deeper into like eigenvalues and stuff.
Yeah.
I low key forgot a bunch there too, like off the top of my head. Um, this
How
course
are
was
you doing
like
in those courses? Are you like acing them or doing medium or like tanking them?
uh it I don't really know what like acing means. Like I'm not getting like hundreds or like high 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting like mid 80s.
Nice.
I think that's where my average sits right now. Um, and then I'm trying to think like what other
Do they
courses.
curve it?
If it's really bad, they're like if everybody's doing like terrible, they curve it by a little bit. Like I know our CS 245 midterm got curved by a little. It was like it's like a it's like a slight curve by like 7% because the midterm I know like it was pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Okay, so
Um,
someone's asking how does GPA work in Canada or just in your school? How does GPA work? You get a letter grade and it gets converted to a GPA? Or like, can
I
you
have
explain
no
that?
clue.
You don't
I
know how
low
the
key
GPA
just
works?
yeah, I just like take my average and then there's like a little chart that we map it to and I just have my friend do it
Oh,
and then
really?
I'm like okay. But then I stopped like really caring about GPA after my first couple
Yeah,
internships. So I just didn't really bother calculating.
yeah. I think
Um
in my school how it worked is you get like a 85 to 90, that's a A minus. You get a
mm,
90 to 95, that's a A. 95 to 100, that's a A plus, right?
damn.
So A and A plus is 4. A minus is like a 3.7. B plus is a 3.3. And then those get converted. That's your GPA grade. And they just like divide those and stuff. Like add them all up and divide it. That's kind of how our GPA works.
Yeah, I think like we have a chart. So
A
like
chart. Interesting.
I'll send the Reddit link. Oh yeah, the thing I sent earlier was like the Waterloo meme. I don't know why it says has a weird hyperlink.
Oh, I see this guy.
But this Reddit one is I think what people usually use. Okay, wait. Uh, yeah, I don't know if it's actually this inflated because my GPA like sits in a range, and I know my GPA definitely is not that high. Maybe I should just like put my GPA higher then.
Yo, chat. This is the Waterloo guy. That's actually so funny. He's so happy, and then
Yeah,
he's just now he's a bit more blind, staring at the computer all day. Got
yeah.
glasses.
Yo, what's actually funny is that the photo is reversed. Like the one where apparently like the dude who like released the photo, he said like the one where he's looking rough is like when he started
Oh, I
Waterloo, and the one
see.
where he's looking better is when he finished.
Bro, that's
But it's still
funny.
hilarious.
So okay, let's get back into. So you took. So how was the CS course there? Is like a bunch of the kids cracked? Do you go into the course and kids are not even pulling their weight on the assignments? How does that? How does it work? Like, let's talk about
Um,
object oriented class specifically.
I'm not gonna lie, like I think when it comes to like the cracked atmosphere of Waterloo, I think like the top 10% are like really cracked. And then and I think like so like I was kind of surprised because when I came to Waterloo, I saw a lot of people like actually weren't putting in too much like work into like courses or like their side projects and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but it's pretty funny. Like I don't think anybody like really puts their focus on like courses in general, and this includes like the cracked people. From what I see, like uh a lot of like my friends and like everybody in the class is like kind of like actually
Focus
no
on
never mind.
internships.
Nah, I was about to say something, but like in case like the dean or someone is
Yeah.
watching, I can't say
Yeah.
anything more. But yeah, well, we're like doing our work pretty diligently, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of people like study together. Um, it's like no one's really like too pro. Yeah, I think it's like your standard school experience. It's like, everybody's a crammer, everybody procrastinates.
I
It's
see.
just like some people at the top are like just really crazy, and like they do a lot of stuff outside of school and just have like crazy CVs.
So a lot of the people are pretty entrepreneurial. You think?
Yeah, I mean, it's like some people are entrepreneurial, but from my experience, most people are just like really, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they're not the kind to really start a startup, but they're like the kind to be like really proactive and like learn on their own time and like really apply themselves, to get themselves out there. And like they end up getting like crazy cool internships in
Yeah.
like SF where they work for like some of the most like innovative startups.
Yeah. That. So what's like the lead code culture? I mean, y'all are good at lead code. That's why you're getting in there in the first place. Is like everyone
Mm,
already spamming lead code by the time they're in their first year, second year, or sorry, first semester, second semester.
Um, from my experience, like no, not. I think like people don't end up doing leak code a lot until like second and third year. Like I didn't really leak code that much until like this year December, or like last year December. I think like later on, some people go like the startup route, so they do like some leak code, but then they end up spending most of their time like building projects, attending hackathons, like flying to SF to work with like labs. But the other half, like they're going down like the big tech route where they need to do leak code, so they end up like grinding a decent amount.
Is it like half half? Like what's people's goals mostly? Do everyone trying to get into Fang, or every like people are also don't care for Fang at all? And someone
Um,
asking how many leak codes have you done?
Let me check. I haven't checked in a minute. I think recently I've been working more on side projects than leak code. I'm 597.
Holy crap, dude! And how long did you take to do those? You have almost as much as me.
Let's just say like January, February, March was a rough triplet of months.
God damn.
I think I think that was when I did the bulk, but I think before that I had around like 110,
What's your
solved.
breakdown? How many hards and mediums do you get?
I'm 172 easy, 376 medium, and 49 hard.
Holy
So I try
crap.
to focus more on mediums.
Yeah, you have like the same breakdown as me. Damn. And I've been doing leak code for a long time. You almost have as much questions.
Nah, but like now I'm probably gonna slow down. I think like I've already
Maximize
I
it.
don't Nah, I feel like leak code's kind of lost its like I remember in like January and February it's so fun, and then like now it's like a chore to even do like one a day, like the daily.
How many questions were you doing in a day?
Uh, let's see. I think like some days I'll just get back from work and then just like literally do nothing but leak code. So I think in those days I'll like, well, not really days. There are maybe like 2 days where I like get 20 down, but then like I think on average it would be like 3 to 5 a day, and then I slow down. Now I just do the daily.
You still do the daily?
Yeah, I try to do the daily. Sometimes like sometimes I couldn't really be bothered, so I just do it to like keep my streak alive,
I see.
which I lost recently. That was the most tragic day.
How long was your streak?
Um, is so in terms of submission streak, it was 57 days, but my daily streak was 75. I ran out
Oh.
of like the time travel
Oh,
tickets.
okay, I see, I see.
Yeah,
No, that's actually insane. There's even
but
kids at
like
Waterloo who are Grandmaster Code Forces. One of my friends was sending me some guy who was Grandmaster Code Force.
yeah, dude, like some people are like crazy. Like they like don't do leak code because it's too easy for them. Like the hardest leak code is probably like a chill question for them. Like
That's
these guys are the people who are like international coding Olympiads, like CCC. Like 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 these are the guys you're competing with if you're trying to get into quant. Like I know one guy's in quant right now in Chicago, and he's like insane, bro.
yo, that's
But
crazy. How'd you solve so much questions though? Were you already good? What was your steps to getting good at lead code?
uh, so I followed the neat code roadmap, but I think like my main like strategy was just to do it. Like I realized that like I could be like sad that I wasn't cracked at lead code, but I realized that like most people they didn't really start like quote unquote cracked, right? Like, I think
Yeah,
a lot of times like they had to start somewhere. So I realized like the only difference between like me and like a version of me where I'm good at lead code is just like the fact that I have to like just do it, like, and like stay consistent.
hmm.
Um, I I I I recently wrote a blog about this.
Oh, you blog it
Look,
out
look,
too?
nah,
You
I just started like
nice.
I seen some people blogging at my school, and I actually like really enjoy their blogs. So I was like, okay, I'm just practice
Yeah, yeah,
writing my
drop it,
own, so I
drop it.
could,
It's good.
yeah, I'm gonna do a shameless
It's
plug.
real good stuff. No, you gotta do stuff to get yourself out there. Honestly,
Yeah, that's what I realized. I think like working working like kind of like corporate and maybe big tech. I'll I'll see how big tech is, but I think like I'm still missing like a like kind of like an itch to code. I think that's why I'm working on side projects. So maybe like next time I'll explore like startups, which is why like I started like revamping personal website
I
and
see.
like
So what's this one about? LeetCode
writing
and
blogs.
discipline. Picking.
Yeah, I plug your video at the bottom.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna plug
but
this one too. Holy crap!
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
what's like the TLDR here? I'll read it. I'll
Uh,
do a video reading this actually, but just explain it real quick.
the TLDR is like some things will be. I think I have to talk a little quieter now. I think like the people in my house are asleep, but um, the TLDR is like leak code is kind of like one of those things that you have to do if you want to, achieve your goals.
Yeah,
So like what I realized, like kind of in the time that you spend like not really doing much, like you might as well like challenge yourself because like that's kind of what causes growth,
hmm,
and it's kind of just about like staying disciplined, being consistent, and then just finding ways to like make it easy to stay consistent. Like LeetCode makes it really easy. They give you like company lists, they give you like dailies, they give you contests. So like to really like just show up and do one question a day is like my like non-negotiable. And I
yeah,
think like by kind of just being able to brainlessly pick a question is what really helped me stay consistent. And then once I started one, like I wanted to explore more.
I see. Oh man, you're
But
on
I
the
remember
right
like
path. Like second year, already have a few internships, 40K subs. Let's get it.
40K,
Yeah, just passed
huge,
it.
bro, huge. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah,
I
cause
mean, yeah, I think like what was I gonna say?
seeing the chat.
Yeah, I think like yeah,
So how do
40K
you
is
how do you
huge,
actually
bro.
survive water? Okay, so this is all you've took so far, because you're gonna be only going to your second year sem two, right?
Yeah, I took stats as
Oh,
well. It was like a
stats,
basic stat course.
stats basics, like yeah.
Uh, yeah, like it starts off with probability and then goes into like the distributions and
I
stuff.
see.
Um, yeah, and then like after the summer, when I go back, I'm gonna be taking my second sem of second year. Like those classes will be like compilers,
I see.
uh, like yeah, compilers, data structures. Our school does something weird. So we split data structures and algorithms. I think second year you learn data structures, and then third year you learn like
I
algorithms.
see. I like that actually.
Yeah. So I think like yeah, we have CS compilers, CS data structures, we have CS computer organization. I think like it's called CS 250. So I think like that's when you start.
Damn.
Oh no, that's not OS
So where's
yet.
all the practical stuff? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, this is similar to how my school did it too. It's I mean, data structure algorithms are
Yeah,
practical and stuff, but where's like the software engineering large? Where's the like large scale data, distributed systems? Like
that comes in like third and fourth year, and that's
I
like
see.
what when people start taking like things as optional. So there's like networking,
Yeah, exactly
there's
that
concurrent
stuff.
programming. Yeah, there's distributed systems, there's OS. They're all stuff that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I think like yeah, I think like this is pretty standard for like all CS. I think the thing that kind of makes Waterloo stand out is just the co-op.
yeah. I mean, like, what? How'd this guy turn like this though? What they do to him? Like, which course?
That's engineering.
Oh, it's
Yo,
engineering.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you what happens to engineering, bro. Like I seen
Holy
their course
crap,
load. Like they be taking like 8 courses, bro.
that's crazy. So what's next for you? I mean, this is solid stuff that you're learning. What courses are you interested in that they're offering in your third and fourth year that you're gonna definitely take?
Uh,
What are you
Probably
planning
like
on taking?
networking,
Yeah,
concurrent programming, distributed systems. Like yeah, I recently like wanted to learn more into that because I think like engineering those systems are like pretty cool. Um, and I think like going back on LeetCode, like I think the first 100 or so was like extremely like tedious, extremely hard. I didn't really feel like I was like learning much. I feel like most of the problems I was like cheating, not cheating, but like looking at
yeah,
solutions on LeetCode. I think like eventually like as you go topic by topic, like you see the patterns, and I think like that's why I grinded a lot is because I found it kind of fun.
Yeah. No, I found
Yeah,
it kind of fun too. And bro, you're
yeah,
way
yeah,
ahead of
exactly.
everyone, cause you
Ah,
grinded it in your first year. I was grinding LeetCode right before I was about to graduate, and
yeah,
I already had. Bro, I was grinding LeetCode when I already had interviews lined up where I knew they were gonna ask me LeetCode. I opened it up for the first time. And I was just grinding. But the thing is, I already
yeah. I think
took the data structures and algos class, so I kind of was able to ramp up faster, because I didn't have to really relearn a lot of this stuff. But
mhm.
it's but a lot of the when I took data structures were really literally like writing the algorithms on paper, or like proving the algorithms on paper, not
Yeah,
actually writing the code. So even that still tripped me up.
bro. I'm gonna be real. Like the only reason why I have this many solved is kind of it's like low key like pure degeneracy, bro. Because like I remember one of my homies in like first year, he like set a goal for himself
Yeah.
to like do leak code every day, and he ended up doing 1,000 in the year
Whoa.
as a first year. So I was like, yo, what the hell? So
Yeah.
like he like inspired me. So I was like, okay, this year I'm gonna like lock in. Like before I wasn't really doing that much leak code. And then I was like I wasn't really confident in like interviewing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of figured like, if I'm confident that eventually I will get the interviews, like I should probably just prepare now. So,
Yeah.
later on it's not that big of a struggle. But I think like now it's kind of different because I think the companies that I want to like interview for like don't really ask like leak code. Um, I'm thinking like maybe for my next co-op, I like go towards like the SF startup route.
Yeah. So they're gonna ask you a lot more practical stuff.
Yeah, like I know like one. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but like I have one coming up that it's just gonna be like an hour, and then we just like build, and that's it. Just like an hour, and they watch me build like a mini project.
How are you with that? Like how good are you with that? Because I know you're good at leak code. What about other stuff?
Um,
Like
I'd say like I have like it's like I have like the belief that like I can figure something out. I'm just like scared like in an hour. Like there's like a lot of small stuff when it comes to setting up a project. Like what if I forget how to like create a Next.js app or like set
I
up
see.
my API. It's like just like really
Yeah.
small stuff. But like I think in terms of like general like working on repos, I think like I can eventually like figure it out.
What kind of side projects are you working on? Like what kind of stuff are you learning? Are you learning full stack, CSS, React?
Um I think right now I'm working on like full stack applications. Like a couple of first years, bro. Like, yo, it's crazy. Like, there's a couple of first years like having like some crazy side projects,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, this project is vibe coded,
Yeah.
and then I looked into the like repo. I looked into like their write ups. I'm like, bro, this is really good stuff. It's
Yeah.
very clear that like it's like they were the ones like using the AI. It was like the AI just doing whatever it wants.
I see.
So I think like um yeah, so that's kind of inspired me to like make a couple like tools that are full stack and eventually like deploy them.
Yeah.
Um,
Bro, so how do
but
you break out your day? When you were
I,
grinding
I'm
leak
like
code with school and stuff, like how are you breaking up your day, and how are you breaking up now? Like how are you managing your time, because you're getting a lot done.
um surprisingly I actually like don't do that much during my day. I think so like when I started like my first like spurt of lead code grind was searching for my second co-op. So the way our school does it is like um we have a job portal and then we split our co-op search into cycles.
Yeah.
So each cycle like new jobs will be posted. So like my priority was like, okay, I remember like first year, yo, do not take me back to second semester. First year trying to look for a job, it was actually like fighting for scraps, bro. Like I swear, like me and my homies were like we're all unemployed and we're like dreaming about this like unpaid in like the middle of nowhere. And like, yo, please take me.
God damn.
Like, but like, bro, first year had me so down bad. Like, um,
Bro,
it's like
the crazy thing is too, that's in your first year. Y'all are really ahead of the times, because You're in your first year really worried about an internship, versus if you compare to other schools, they're not worried about that in their first year. Nobody
Yeah,
grinded leak code in their first year.
but like the way I like to think of it is that it's like less of the person, but more of like the environment.
Yeah.
Like if Waterloo didn't have a co-op, I think not I wouldn't have done like that much lead code. I wouldn't have been job searching. I think like because it kind of forces you into like the situation, like obviously it's gonna suck, but I think like eventually like it does pay dividends, which is what I'm grateful for. Um,
No, it's
I
gonna
think
pay a lot of dividends. You put in the work early, and it's just it's just gonna grow exponentially. All the work you
yeah,
put in early is gonna pay
yeah,
off
that's
hard.
my whole bro. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But um, yeah, so like second co-op search, it was like semester one of my second year, and I was like, yo, I'm not gonna let what happened last time. Like, I think I was job searching during final exams at the buzzer beater and unpaid co-op. Like genuinely the worst semester of my life,
Yeah.
bro. But but yeah, so like I was really committed to like getting it done semester one. So like granted a little bit of lead code. I think like I would have my classes, which I stopped going to after like 2 weeks. Um, and then I like really spent my time like doing a little bit of lead code, working on my resume, um, working on side projects. So like most of my day I would do that. And I think like after I got a Cycle One job, so it's like the first month of school,
Yeah.
yeah, I stopped lead coding entirely. I think if you look at my like lead code submission history,
I see.
it's just pure white for like 2 3 months. Um,
So you think it's you think that just it's the you're pretty much a product of your environment. Like everyone's
yes,
grinding around you, so that's kind of what's pushing you. If you're in
hundred
a
thousand percent.
if you're like if they weren't doing that, you think you'd be able to get up and motivate yourself still, or no? You think that?
It's like 50-50. Um I think like it'll definitely like push you, but like at the end of the day, like you're the one who puts in the work. And I think like when I started lead coding, it was like the start of my huge lead coding streak started at like mid-December. So this was like after the second school term ended. And then I kind of realized like I wasn't really happy with because it's like FOMO. It's like I see a lot of my friends getting co-ops in like San Francisco, New
Yeah,
York, and they're like getting paid a lot. And then I was just kind of like, yo, like what am I doing? It's like I have so much time, but I'm not like using it properly.
yeah.
So then like kind of like that winter, I don't know, like I still remember the feeling I got. It's like really like intense, like not like I don't know, not
Like you
yo,
felt
not
like
to
you
sound
failed.
corny. No, it wasn't like a failure feeling. It's just like huge like motivations.
Yeah,
It's like I was like kept on telling my parents like, bro, I want to go to US. Like, I want to go to US so bad.
yeah,
And like as corny as it sounds, like I think that's what kind of like pushed me. And I was like, you know what, like everybody who I know who's been to the US has like gone through this before. It's like why not just like start it now when I don't have anything else to do?
yeah. It's a grind to get into U.S., bro. Honestly,
Yeah, bro. Like I know you relate to this like coming from Canada, bro. Like holy, like Canada to US is like so difficult, bro.
and everyone's trying to do it, right? You have to
Yeah,
compete with, like when you apply to SF, you're competing with the Berkeley kids who live right there, Stanford kids, all the
that's what I'm
UC
saying.
schools.
Yeah, all the UCs like CMU, MIT, but like at the end of the day, it's like those schools can only like produce so many engineers, and like there'll definitely be like spots for everybody if you like try. But like I think what people like misunderstand is like I don't really spend that much a day like grinding. Like I think I still have a pretty like relaxed lifestyle. It's like
Mm-hmm.
today I didn't like today I woke up at like 11.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a soccer game.
Yeah,
I like kind of like literally, I kind of just chilled for a couple hours, and then I went like ran some errands. Uh, went to the gym, and I came back. Like I didn't really do much work today.
yeah. No, it's crazy. And then where do you think you are in the pack? Like middle of the pack, top of the pack? bottom of the like what is a cracked Waterloo kid and what is some like are there people just flunking out? They can't handle the
Uh,
pressure.
Not that I know of.
I see.
Like, I don't really know where I sit. I think I think like something about Waterloo is that you also see like the survivorship bias.
Yeah.
Like you'll see like the top 10%, which is like still a lot of students, but like those guys are going crazy. But then they like assume that like every person from Waterloo will like um but I'm still in second year, like I can't really say yet. I think um I think I still have like a long way to go before I become like cracked at Waterloo. Like kind of knowing the people that like they like inspire me and like you know that I like see what they're doing. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanna. They say I wanna work on this kind of stuff too. Say I wanna work towards this. Like I still have like a long way.
Yeah. What's your goals? Are you trying to get to like a staff? Are you trying to be a CEO? Are you trying to make like $1 billion in Silicon Valley?
Mm, I don't know yet. I don't think like CEO is really for me. I want to join like I think right now where my passions are. Is I want to join like a really early stage startup, like an engineering team of like 4 or 5. Just like grind as hard as I can with them and just like say if it works out like I'll be lucky, like if it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. It's like it's still an experience because I don't think like I think like eventually I want to end up at like late stage startup or like big tech and then maybe climb the ladder, but I'm still like kind of unsure like what specifically I want to work on, like whether it's like SRE, cloud, cybersecurity, or like full stack.
Yeah. But you enjoy it so far, like coding and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think before I was like, just whatever. But I think like recently, part of what's like kept me going is like I found out that like I really enjoy this stuff. Like I don't think I could imagine myself doing anything else.
Yeah. I feel like since you grinded it out, you started doing all these legal questions. You realize you're kind of good at it. You realize that it's fun when you could solve questions, and it just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
reinforces that behavior.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like lead coding gets like addictive once you get to like that spot where like your progress kind of skyrockets because you learn the foundations of all these different algos and you start applying them. And I think like after a bit, it's like that kind of wears down a little bit. I think like even though I've done like a lot of problems, I haven't done like the most review. So like going into an interview today, like if I were to interview for like Meta, like I would like believe in myself, but I wouldn't be like, like extremely confident.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like what if they ask me like a linked list problem, which is like my absolute least favorite topic.
I see. That makes sense. Cool. That was a
Yeah.
good topic. Let's hop. Let's hop into coding interview then. Since we're talking about that, we'll run it similar to last time, and let's
Hmm.
see how well you perform again. But that was
I
good
hopefully I don't
talk.
drop a stinker.
Surviving
Yeah, yeah, it's
Waterloo.
fun, bro.
I finally got my insight into Waterloo. What's happening? But we'll keep doing more
Yeah,
checkups when you get through. Maybe a few
yeah,
years
for
from now
sure.
too. If you're working down here, I'll see you. But we'll catch up on all this stuff. But that was a good chat. I have a lot of friends from Waterloo too, so I'm gonna send this over the
Yeah,
video.
yeah, it's almost like unexpected like how many Waterloo people haven't been to SF, right?
Yeah, there's so much Waterloo kids I know. I'm friends with a lot of Waterloo people. But that's so funny.
Yeah,
This I'm gonna read this post. Maybe I'll do a whole video on it because I think it's interesting to understand how people actually get good at LeetCode as a student.
yeah. I'm still trying to work on like my writing skills, but I just kind of like dumped all my thoughts
Nice,
into like a blog.
nice. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
read this. Do you like Atomic Habits? That's a good book.
yeah, yeah. I think like that was like part of the inspiration. It's like when I thought about like how I approach lead code, I was like, I like kind of subconsciously apply like the things I learned in this book.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna end this one video and let's get into